So hello friends, this time let's talk about the discussion of the physics part of Neet 2020, and the code that I am going to use for discussion of this is code G3, right? So in code G3, the questions 91 to 135 are from the topic of physics. Are from the subject physics, and the first question is this, and this is brought from the topic of the oscillations, isn't it? The phase difference between displacement and acceleration of a particle in SHM is. It's a direct question. As we all know, this is option number 4. So we will be having this answer by heart by now, but at least we try to solve this. X is equal to, that means displacement is a sine omega t. Let us suppose there is a initial phase also. Let's suppose that is phi. Okay, now what is v then? What is velocity? Dx by dt. So this is a omega cos omega t plus phi. Okay, then what is acceleration then? That is, again differentiate this. This is minus a omega square sine omega t plus phi. Now try to answer this question. See, what is the difference between this? Acceleration of the particle and displacement, isn't it? So this and this. What is the difference here? What is the phase difference here? There is a negative sign here. Now there is no negative sign over here. So can I write this as a omega square sine omega t plus phi plus pi 180 degree, isn't it? So this and this are now having the same phase except this particular difference, that is pi. So the correct answer for our question is option 4th, that is pi radian. So it's a direct question. Let's go to the next one now. So this is from the topic of magnetism, and it is from the topic of solenoid, isn't it? Solenoid. So as we know, if you have a solenoid like this, the magnetic field is actually straight in the center, isn't it? So from, let's suppose this is the north pole, this is the south pole. In a current carrying solenoid, then it will be like this in the center. Now what happens is that here the equation is mu naught capital N by L, that is number of turns per unit length, mu naught Ni. This is the current. So this is 4 pi multiplied by 10 raised to minus 7. 10 raised to minus 7 multiplied by number of turns is 100 divided by, this is the length, isn't it? Length is 50 centimeters. So what will you do? 50 divided by 100. Now mu naught Ni, what is the current here? 2.5. So let me write it as 5 by 2. Okay. Now this is a very easy calculation. 2 2s are 4. This is cancelled off. 5 and 5 gets cancelled off. Okay, so this will be 2 into 3.14, 6.28 into 10 raised to minus 123. So that will be 6.28 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So the answer for this question is option 4. It's a direct question, straightforward formula based question. Only thing is that you need to have a good crunch on the concepts of physics. And yes, we have a very simple question, spectacularly simple question from the topic of pulley. And I had made multiple videos on pulleys, and we had a good discussion of pulleys. And these were one of the very basic questions you had over there. So this is a massless frictionless pulley. Net torque acting on the pulley will be definitely 0. Now the point is, see, this is 4G is acting downwards and 6G is acting downwards, and therefore this is the direction of movement. Okay, so what will you do? The tension in the pulley is actually equal. If this is tension T, this is also tension T. Now I am considering this as a system, this much big portion as a system, right? Then the tension is an internal force, and 4G and 6G are the external forces. Since the body is moving in this particular direction towards one direction, 6G is more than 4G. So what we'll do is acceleration is equal to net external force. Net external force. 6G is down, 4G is down, but 6G is more than 4G, so it is taking it to the other side. So this is how the pulley will accelerate, isn't it? Now what is the net external force here? 6G is acting down, 4G is acting down. The net force acting in this direction is 6G minus 4G, 2G. That is going to bring it to the downward direction, divided by the total mass. 6 plus 4 is 10. So obviously my answer for this question is G by 5. Okay, or you can even solve this by the very basic equation, m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 multiplied by G. m1 is 6 minus 4 is 2 divided by 10 multiplied by G. So this is my answer for this question. I will be marking option 2 as the correct answer. Straightforward, simple, direct question that everybody will learn while they are studying for this exam, right? So let's go to the next question now. Take a look at this question now. See, this question has been derived from the topic of EM waves, electromagnetic waves. And as we know, an electromagnetic wave has two components, and it is in these two components that the energy of electromagnetic wave is actually kept. So what are the two components here? You have an electric field and you have a magnetic field. They are oscillating perpendicular to each other. And your wave is actually having a direction of E cross B, isn't it? This is how we write it. E cap cross B cap will give you the direction of C cap, unit vector direction. So the point is that the energy intensity, see energy density, if you remember, of electric field, it was half epsilon naught E square, and that for the magnetic field will be B square by 2 mu naught. So this is the equation. Now what we did is we will plug in the value of electric field and magnetic field over there. That oscillating equation, wave equation will be plugged in, and then you try to prove that both these things are equal. Now energy density is equal, so intensity should also be equal because it is energy per unit area per unit time. So that means, see, the energy density or the energy contribution of electric field and magnetic field are equal. So therefore the ratio of contribution made by electric field and magnetic field components to the intensity of an electromagnetic wave is obviously 1:1. Both are equal. This is something that we have proved. So the correct answer for this question is option number 1. So this is a simple question. It is a conceptual question, more of a conceptual question that you are supposed to learn. Let's go to the next question now. In a certain region of space with volume of 0.2 meter cube, the electric potential is this much. Now they are asking you the magnetic field, electric field in this particular area. So electric field and electric potential, this is electric field is equal to minus of dV by dr. Negative potential gradient is electric field. So therefore I can say that, see, it is constant throughout, it is not changing. If the potential is not changing from one point to other, how can you expect electric field should be there? So this change in potential with respect to distance is 0, so electric field is also equal to 0. It requires no calculation from your side, just a basic understanding of electric field and electric potential and how they are related to each other. A conceptual question, simple question. It cannot be more simpler than this, isn't it? So this is again a very basic equation, formula based thing that we all learn by the time we write the NEET exam. So thermal physics, simple question, average thermal energy for monoatomic gas, where Kb is the Boltzmann constant. So that is 3/2 Kb multiplied by T. So this is something that we remember, average energy. Remember the degree of freedom for a monoatomic gas is 3. So that is why it is 3/2 kBT. So this is my answer for this question. So for this, I will be marking option 1 as my answer. Question number 97 is again a simpler question. Very basic equation of torque has to be utilized for the purpose of solving this. Find the torque about the origin when a force of this much Newton acts on the particle whose position vector is this much. Tau is equal to R cross F. Right? Now R cross F is around, this is actually, see, magnitude is 3 into 2, that is 6. Now R cross F, what is R here? K cross J. So this is K cap cross J cap. What is that? Is it I cap or minus I cap? See, remember this, I, J, and this is K. So yeah, clockwise is positive, anti-clockwise is negative. So this is J cross K, no, this is K cross J. Obviously this is minus I cap. So this is minus J or minus J, J minus I cap direction. So this is option 2. Another question from the topic of thermal physics again, mean free path equation. Mean free path equation, I simply remember this as 1 by root 2 n pi d square. So this is your mean free path equation, and therefore your answer for this question is 1 by root 2 n pi d square, option 1. Isn't it? N pi d square. So correct answer for this question is option number 1. It's a straightforward formula they have asked you, and we don't go for any derivation while teaching this. We simply remember this. So yes, another question, again a modern physics question. Energy equivalent to this much amount of substance here. Einstein's equation has to be utilized for the purpose of solving this. E is equal to mc square. Yeah, it's a bit rare to get these kind of questions normally in the exam, but Yeah, relativity theory and all those things are supposed to be learned at a very extreme level, but we have this kind of a equation now. Mass is 0.5, so this is 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3, or I can simply make this as 5 into 10 raised to minus 4. 10 raised to 10 raised to minus 4, isn't it? Minus 4. Now c square, 3 into 10 raised to 8 whole square is 9 into 10 raised to the power 16. So this is obviously 5 nines are 45 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 12. So this is 4.5 into 10 raised to 13. See, so this is my answer for this question. So the correct answer for question number 99 is option number 1. Now take a look at this question, that is question number 100 here. See, while I was preparing for the NEET exams from 4 years ago, then they never asked these kind of questions from the topic of units and dimensions. And from that particular topic of units and dimensions, the only thing that they used to focus was dimensions, and these were not at all being asked at that time. But now in the present trend that we have seen in the previous 2 years, they are asking questions on other things, units and all those things like screw gauge, vernier caliper and all those things, and finally that significant figures and all those things. So those things are something that I hate the most, isn't it? So let's try to solve this now in the best way possible. See, screw gauge is something that is used for the measurement of very small distances, isn't it? Very small length can be measured with screw gauge, like vernier caliper and screw gauge. We will use it for that particular matter. Now, what you do is that you have a very basic equation here. You have head scale and pitch scale inside this, isn't it? So that thing reminds me of that. Yeah, you have to turn this and all those things. So head scale and pitch scale were there. What is least count then? Pitch divided by distance moved in one turn divided by number of divisions on the circular scale. Now, what are they asking here? Pitch is asked. So, pitch is equal to least count. Least count is 0.01. So, I can write it as 10 raised to minus 2. Multiplied by number of divisions is 50. So, this is obviously 0.5 millimeters. So, that is a direct formula based substitution. No other high-tech funda has been utilized for the purpose of making this question. Yes, this brings me a lot of memories of difficulty in the physics lab. But now it's more or less much more easier after getting into MBBS. So let us go to the next few questions of this particular paper now.